Savage Scientist back in here again today with another video talking about Uber. I am so damn tired of Uber with this bullshit. I've been picking up customers, driving almost wasting a whole damn $5 worth of gas to pick up a customer and bring them right across the street. I drive this long to bring a customer this long. This versus this. This is how long a son of a bitch go. This how long it take for me to get to him. So what I'm trying to do now is figure out Uber need to change their game. What I have here is a map of a fictitious city called Primeburg. And this is downtown Primeburg right here. I want you to pay attention to this map. Let me get this stupid light off. There it is. So that's downtown Primeburg. In order to understand what I'm about to talk about, you have to understand that this is a major city, about 2 million people. So you have Interstate 60 and Interstate 14 feeding off from the east, and then once you come in from this way, you have Interstate 714, an actual bypass. This is a bypass loop, eastern bypass of the city, right here. And then this bypass continue to the west, Interstate 714. It's going on over to the west, and then this is a lake to the north, the airport. In between the lake and Interstate 714, you have the airport between Interstate 714 and the lake, and you have the river. Deep Channel River that to the east of the river is downtown Primeburg, on the east bank of this river, similar to how East Bank and West Bank in New Orleans, no similarities. So we have Interstate 714 and Interstate 9. Interstate 9 running north and south. It serves as a turnpike to that pays. You have to pay to ride on this turnpike. Interstate 9 turnpike, 6 lanes in one direction, still trafficking. So this is where I stay, and this is the origin of my call, right here in the hood. So I get a call on Uber telling me call right here. So one thing that the app should do is you shouldn't get penalized if you're not gonna drive from here to here. And I know that that most of the time it don't hurt your acceptance rate if you've been taking most of your calls. Then if you reject a call like this, yeah. So, but supposing you take all your calls because they have some type of bonus, I don't give a damn. The scenario I'm about to create for you, I would not take a call going here. So supposing you get this call, you can't tell where this call could be going from across the street to across the country. So you get this call in the hood, you drive, you're on the turnpike, $3 turnpike, and you get off the turnpike downtown Primeburg right here. So you get off right here. This distance is 9 miles. You just drove 9 miles from the origin. So from the origin to the pickup is 9 miles. Origin to pickup, 9 miles. So now from the pickup to the drop off, so P to D is 1 mile. It's not even 1 mile, it's a half a mile. So you're gonna go a half mile. So let's look at this equation. Well, before I look at this equation, let's look at what we got here. I just drove 9 miles to pick up a passenger and drop them off a half a mile down the street, downtown. So this is worth the distance is $17. If I was to pick somebody up and bring them all the way back to the hood, it'll be $17. So this is $5 right here. That half mile I went is worth $5. $5 damn versus $17. That's a big problem. So let's look at this equation here. This is what I think Uber should start doing when you have situations like this, where you have to drive this far to pick up a damn customer and bring them all the way across town and not getting paid. Distance from the pickup to the termination point. This is the termination point right here. 1/2 mile down the street to termination. So I'm going to call that S. And now let's look at the part that got me. The distance from my origin, where the call started as the origin, to the pickup. I call that F because you're really getting fucked over whenever you drive this far to pick a customer up. So I'm going to call that F. 9 miles. So we got that in here. All right. So we're looking at 9 miles. So let's plug this into this equation right here. My goal here is I want to drive a longer distance to drop my customer off than the distance of me picking them up. So the distance to the destination should always be greater than the distance to the pickup. And that's what this is saying. Distance to pickup. So F is where I'm going from my house to the pickup is F. S is the destination, is the pickup to the destination. So that's what this is. D, distance to pickup to termination point or final destination with my customer. And D right here is distance from the origin, my house, to the pickup location. And if you notice, the pickup location appears in both because this is where my drive to pick them up stop, and this is where my calls start. So the calls start here from pickup to termination point. I always want my F to be greater than my S. So distance to pickup should always be greater than distance to drop off. In the cases where it's not, that's where this equation come in. So now we're looking at this equation right here. What I'm doing is I'm about to go and turn this into a reasonable rate that a customer should pay for a driver coming on a 9-mile journey and have them go on a $5 trip. That's not going to work here. So in this case, F is 17 because on a 9-mile journey, it costs $17. So $17 right here. And they cost $5. So divide that by 2 times their normal cost. So 2 times $5. So we're going to have 17 over 10. So this is where you get your calculators out. So 17 going to 10. So that is about $1 and that's 1.7. See that? 1.7. So that is how much they should have to have that's the additional amount that they should pay. So that's just like surging on the spot. So instead of paying $5, they're gonna have to pay 5 times 1.7. And God damn, you son of a bitch. Let me find my calculator. So 5 times 1.7 is 8.5. So they will have to pay me $8.50 because I have to come all the way up here. I would say that is fair. It's not the $17 that I want, but it's also better than $3 that I would get from Uber. And that's in this amount, Uber should not take off this amount. Uber should not take anything out of the amount that it costs the driver to get to the passenger. So Uber will be taking their amount off based on the $5. So of this 8.5, it'll be Uber would take out their 20%. And that's it right there. So Uber gonna take they $1.25 out of it. And that's gonna leave me with $7.25 off this call as a profit. Alright, so now let's make it a little more interesting. I have a $10 trip going to the airport. So now this S will be $10. I mean, yeah, S is about 6 miles. $10. So now I'm gonna come right here and put this in here. So that'll be 20 over 17. In this case, this formula would not work, and it'll turn into 1. So this would be plus your normal rate. The only time we would use this is if I'm coming a longer distance, and this equation works out to be less. I mean, the equation itself will cancel itself out whenever a call is greater than the distance that I'm driving, or if it's greater than actually half of the distance. So really, I would have to go anytime my customer go more than half the distance. So that means that anytime they going more than half that distance, then it's a regular old call. That is only a beginning to fixing this problem. So, and I know y'all probably could come up with better ways of dealing with this than this, but this will be a start. Uber need to look at shit like this and try and figure out a way to give us more money, because we ain't making money out here. We struggling. Well, at least I am. I'm not making no money doing this shit. So Uber need to find a way to increase our pay, since they won't be greedy. 10-4.